Ella had always loved visiting her grandmother's old house in the countryside. It was a quaint, creaky building, full of memories and secrets. Every summer, she spent a few weeks there, exploring the dusty attic, playing in the overgrown garden, and listening to her grandmother's tales of old. One warm afternoon, while rummaging through the attic, Ella stumbled upon a large, ancient trunk she had never noticed before. It was covered in cobwebs and had intricate carvings of vines and flowers. Curious, she brushed away the dust and opened the heavy lid. Inside, she found an assortment of strange and wonderful items: a rusted key, a faded photograph of a young girl who looked just like her, and an old, leather-bound diary. Intrigued, Ella took the diary and settled in a cozy corner to read. The handwriting was elegant, but hard to decipher at first. As she read, she realized it was the journal of a girl named Clara, who had lived in the house over a century ago. The entries detailed Clara's life, her joys, and her sorrows. Ella felt a strange connection to Clara, as if their souls were somehow intertwined. One entry, dated June 7, 1914, caught Ella's attention. Clara wrote about a mysterious event that had happened in the house. She mentioned hearing whispers at night, seeing shadows move on their own, and feeling a cold presence that chilled her to the bone. Clara described how she had found the trunk, just as Ella had, and discovered the same photograph and key. Eager to learn more, Ella continued reading. In the final entry, Clara wrote about a hidden room somewhere in the house, a place where the key would fit. She believed it held the answers to the strange occurrences and was determined to find it. Excited by the mystery, Ella grabbed the key and set off to search for the hidden room. She wandered through the house, tapping on walls and checking for secret doors. Hours passed, but she found nothing. Disappointed, she decided to take a break and went to the kitchen for a glass of water. As she stood at the sink, Ella noticed something odd about the pantry door. It looked slightly out of place, as if it had been moved recently. Her heart pounding, she tried the key in the pantry door's lock. It fit perfectly. The door swung open, revealing a narrow staircase descending into darkness. Ella hesitated, then took a deep breath and started down the stairs. At the bottom, she found herself in a small, dimly lit room. In the center of the room was a large, ornate mirror, its surface covered in a thin layer of dust. Ella wiped the dust away and gasped. The reflection showed not her, but Clara, looking back at her with wide, frightened eyes. Before Ella could react, Clara spoke. "Thank you for finding me," she whispered. "Now I can finally be free." Ella's vision blurred, and she felt a cold, tingling sensation wash over her. She stumbled back, her surroundings fading into darkness. When she opened her eyes, she was no longer in the hidden room. She was standing in the garden, the sun shining brightly. Confused, she looked around and saw her grandmother waving from the porch. "Ella, it's time for lunch," her grandmother called. Ella smiled and waved back, but something felt different. As she walked towards the house, she caught a glimpse of herself in the garden mirror. Her reflection was not her own. It was Clara's face that smiled back at her. In that moment, Ella realized the truth. She was no longer herself. Clara had taken her place, and she was now the one trapped in the mirror, waiting for someone else to find the key and set her free.